Well, good afternoon. You're watching the midday news on Rajya Sabha television, where we get you the biggest developing news stories at the top of this hour. I'm Ashwarya, and these are the headlines. Amritsar Municipal Corporation says no permission granted to hold the Shera event near railway tracks that led to the Friday's tragedy. 61 people killed and 72 injured. Magisterial probe ordered. Report to be submitted in 4 weeks. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu strongly rebuts attempt by Pakistan to raise Kashmir issue at the 12th Assam Summit in Brussels. Reiterates Jammu and Kashmir is integral part of India and there is no room for any doubt on it. Highlights the menace of terrorism at the plenary. Talks between Prime Minister Modi and Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Review of status of the India-assisted housing projects in Jaffna. Sushma Swaraj and Rajnath Singh meet the visiting dignitary. Districts along Brahmaputra in Arunachal Pradesh put on high alert after China issues possible flash flood warnings. Landslide blocks mainstream of a river in Tibet, forming an artificial lake. Districts bordering Arunachal in Assam also put on alert. And voting underway in Afghanistan for third parliamentary election since 2001. Thousands of Afghan forces fan across the country after violence-marred campaign. Voting in Kandahar province delayed by a week following Taliban attack. Our top focus this afternoon, the Amritsar Municipal Corporation has said that no permission was granted to hold the Shera celebrations at Dhobi Ghat ground. The municipal commissioner said that unlike last year, the event was held on a large scale on Friday evening. Meanwhile, the bodies of 39 people were identified today, a day after 61 people were killed and 72 others injured after a train mowed down people standing on the tracks near a railway crossing near Amritsar. They were watching a Ravan effigy being burned at the Dussehra celebrations. The train was going from Jalandhar to Amritsar when the incident occurred. At least 300 people were watching a Ravan Dahan at a ground adjacent to the tracks. Eyewitnesses said that people could not hear the sound of the approaching trains due to the bursting of firecrackers. They added that 2 trains arrived from the opposite direction at the same time, giving little time to people to escape.
हादसा टाला जा सकता था। एक तो रेलवे ट्रैक के करीब इस तरह के आयोजन करना, मुझे लगता है कि सोच विचार कर ऐसे आयोजनों पर विचार करना चाहिए। और रेलवे की जो लेवल क्रॉसिंग है, फाटक है, वहाँ से लगभग 300 मीटर दूरी पर ये आयोजन हुआ था। वहाँ देखने के बाद मैं ऐसा कह सकता हूँ कि रेलवे ट्रैक हमारी ऊंचाई पर थी, कुछ लोग ट्रैक पर बैठे हुए थे और जब रावण जलाया गया तो उसमें से क्रैकर्स की आवाज़ आई तो भगदड़ सी भी मची और उसमें ट्रेन की आवाज़ लोग नहीं सुन पाए पटाखों की आवाज़ के बीच। इसमें ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण हादसा हुआ है।
The chairman of a railway board, Ashwini Lohani, visited the spot this morning. He maintained that the railways had no information about the Dussehra function held near the tracks. The railways has cancelled 37 trains and diverted 16 other trains. The route between Jalandhar and Amritsar was suspended.
गलती ये मेरे उसमें नहीं आएगा बोलना कि गलती किसकी थी, बट रेलवे की इसमें गलती नहीं थी क्योंकि ये बेसिकली मेन लाइन है, यहाँ पे ट्रेन फुल स्पीड पे चलती है और उसमें अंधेरा भी था और यहाँ पे हल्का सा वो घुमाव भी है ट्रैक में, और लोग उस ट्रैक पे थे काफ़ी ज़्यादा।
Meanwhile, Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh interacted with the victims and took stock of arrangements at the hospital. He was also briefed by the Crisis Management Group on relief and rehabilitation measures. A magisterial probe under the Police Commissioner has been ordered. The report will be submitted in 4 weeks. Punjab Chief Minister also ordered immediate release of 3 crore rupees for the payment of ex gratia. Meanwhile, scores of people staged a sitting on the railway tracks.
This is not a time for making allegations against people. This is a time for all of us to get together to see that this tragedy is dealt with in the proper manner. I want you to compensation. We have already announced 5 lakhs of rupees per family, per person who has been killed. We are giving free treatment in all the hospital. Government is going to pay for that. Plus, those who are injured in a way which will need long-term treatment, we are giving 50,000 rupees. That.
Several people staged a sit-in on the railway tracks. The protesters raised slogans against the state government and demanded action against the train driver. Opposition parties, including the Akali Dal, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, have demanded strict action against those who gave permission for holding the event.
गरीब आदमी वहाँ खड़े हैं, उनकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है। 2-2, 3-3 घंटे ट्रेनें लेट रहती हैं, सिर्फ लीडर निकलने वाला।
एक मंत्री आ रहा है तो सारा पंजाब सील हो जाता है। मंत्री आ रहा है,
कोई भी मंत्री आ रहा है, पंजाब गाड़ी कोई नहीं निकलेगी, वो रास्ता ही बंद हो जाएगा। हैं? जब पता है ये दिशा देखने के लिए लोग खड़े हैं, उनकी सिक्योरिटी कोई नहीं है।
कि हर साल रावण बनता है। इन्होंने वहाँ पे 20 मिनट गाड़ी खड़ी की है वेर के रावण सड़ने के लिए। ये वहाँ से गाड़ी लेते आया है। मोकमपुरे पहले इसने एक बंदा उड़ाया, इसने इसी ट्रेन वाले ने पहले मोकमपुरे, फिर जोड़ा फाटक पे हॉर्न ही दिया इसने, पहले आगे हॉर्न दिया जब रावण जल रहा है, फिर इसने सारे उड़ाते लेके गया।
The train incident in Amritsar has sent shock waves across the country. President Ram Nath Kovind has expressed a shock over the tragedy. In a tweet, he extended his heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, who is in Brussels, said that he prays for the speedy recovery of those injured. He expressed a shock over the train accident. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also expressed extreme sadness over the train accident and said that the tragedy is heart-wrenching. In a tweet, Prime Minister Modi conveyed his deepest condolences to the families of all those who lost their loved ones, and he prayed for the injured to recover quickly. Punjab Governor VP Singh Badnoor and several other leaders have also condoled the loss of lives. Railway Minister Piyush Goyal is cutting short his US visit to return to India following the tragedy. Home Minister Rajnath Singh has said that the centre is ready to provide all possible assistance to the state at this hour of grief. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said that initial reports suggest that it was a tragedy that could have been avoided. BJP President Amit Shah said that he has asked the local party workers to join the rescue operation. Congress President Rahul Gandhi also said that he was asking the state government and the party workers to provide immediate relief at the accident site. Former Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal also demanded an inquiry by a sitting High Court judge to fix the responsibility and punish the guilty. And Russian President Vladimir Putin has also offered condolences to India on the train accident near Amritsar. According to the Russian embassy, Putin offered condolences to President Ram Nath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the train accident. He conveyed his support to the families of the victims of the train accident. On to some other news now. On Vice President's Belgium tour, and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Friday strongly rebutted an attempt by Pakistan to raise the Kashmir issue at the 12th Asia-Europe meeting in Brussels, according to a report in the Indian Express. During a luncheon meeting of the leaders of different countries at the Asia-Europe Summit meeting in Brussels, Pakistan Minister for Inter-Provincial Coordination Fahmeeda Mirza raised the Kashmir issue. She said that it is still to be resolved. Vice President Naidu immediately objected to such description and said that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India and that there is no room for any doubt on the matter. Earlier, during a plenary meeting, the Vice President highlighted the menace of terrorism and reviewed the fact that some countries are supporting it. And the Vice President has termed his discussion with the leaders at the 12th Assam Summit as constructive and meaningful. He said he is happy with the outcome of the discussions, and during his intervention in the plenary session on Friday, he promoted inclusive growth and sustainable connectivity. He also urged the international community to work towards early adoption of the United Nations Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. Raj Kamal Rao brings us this report from Brussels.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu addressed the plenary session of the 12th Asia-Europe meeting in Brussels on Friday. The Vice President talked about various issues ranging from serious threat to world peace and security to financial integrity and environmental protection. Talking about terrorism as a threat to global peace, the Vice President urged the representatives of the international community to work towards early adoption of the UN Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. Highlighting India's tough stand against economic offences, tax crimes and criminal misappropriation of public assets, he said that India considers such actions a significant threat to the integrity of financial systems and sought for an increased cooperation within G20 and other fora to deny shelter to economic offenders.
We had very meaningful and fruitful discussions, and India is particularly happy that the European community and all the delegates to the meeting, they have all realized the need to come together to fight against terror, united and concerted action against terror. We are happy about the outcome, and also the digital transformation and also the sustainable development goals. On all issues, there was wide range of discussion, very constructive and meaningful.
The Vice President also highlighted other pressing global issues such as climate change and elimination of poverty, and said that developing countries must enhance their financial and technological support. Vice President Naidu also invited ASEAN partners to join the International Solar Alliance.
On the second day of the ASEAN Summit, Vice President of India addressed and intervened in the first plenary session. The Vice President addressed three major issues concerning the global community. One, financial and economic offenders, and the issue of menace of terrorism, and also the concern about climate change. He also sought the support of ASEAN members to have a global response to fight these issues. He also invited them to participate in the Solar Alliance. With camera person Kamaljeet, Rajkamal Rao, Rajya Sabha TV from Brussels.
And Vice President Naidu also emphasized on the need for enhancing connectivity, but stressed on the need to respect the sovereignty of countries. He also spoke about the need to address the issue of protectionism in trade.
Connectivities between Europe and Asia. And you were looking at connectivity from various points of view, from physical connectivity to digital connectivity to people-to-people connectivity. So we as India have always looked at connectivity as very important for shared prosperity and also for building bridges. India itself is involved in a number of projects on connectivity in our part of the world. We are looking at India-Myanmar trilateral highway. We have the international north-south transport corridor. But when we look at connectivity, there are a couple of issues which are important when we look at building that, and some of this is respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. This was emphasized by Vice President in his statement, and we said that any connectivity must bear in mind these aspects. Having open trading, multilateral rule-based trading system, and to reinforce the WTO. Because today you are looking at a world in which there is tendencies towards protectionism, and Vice President made a call for an open trading system, multilateral trading system.
And on the sidelines of the summit, the Vice President also met the Prime Minister of Spain. The two leaders discussed strengthening cultural cooperation and enhancing investments between the two sides. On to some other news now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is holding talks with his Sri Lankan counterpart Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Hyderabad House at the moment. The two sides are likely to review the status of the India-assisted housing projects in Jaffna. They are also likely to deliberate on the Tamil issue, the reconciliation process and the devolution of powers in Tamil-dominated areas. The PTI is quoting sources as saying that both the sides are expected to discuss modalities of India taking charge of operating Sri Lanka's Matala Rajapaksa International Airport in Harmantotta. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Home Minister Rajnath Singh also met the visiting dignitary earlier today. Sushma Swaraj and the Lankan Prime Minister reviewed the progress of India-assisted development projects in the island nation. They also discussed ways to boost ties between the two nations. And Rajnath Singh discussed issues related to security and anti-terror cooperation between India and the island nation. We'll slip into a very short break here. We'll be right back with more news. News from Jammu and Kashmir, where counting of votes for the urban local body polls in the state is underway at the moment. The counting began at 9 in the morning for the polls to 52 civic bodies that were held in 4 phases. A total of 3,372 nominations were filed for 1,145 wards. The fate of over 3,000 candidates will be decided by the end of the day today. The elections are a direct contest between the BJP and the Congress. A large number of independents are also in the fray. The National Conference and the PDP did not participate in the polls. The urban local body polls in Jammu and Kashmir were held after a gap of 13 years, with the last elections being conducted in 2005. The polling was held amid tight security arrangements in 4 phases, starting 8th of October and ending on 16th of October. The overall voting percentage for these polls stood at 35.1%. News from the northeast of the country and districts along the Brahmaputra River in Arunachal Pradesh have been put on high alert for possible flash floods. Now, this comes after China informed India about a landslide blocking its mainstream in Tibet, leading to the formation of an artificial lake. MEA spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that the government is in regular contact with the Chinese side for further updates. He added that relevant authorities of the central government and state governments concerned have been apprised about the emerging situation to enable them to take necessary precautionary measures. Meanwhile, in Assam, Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal has directed authorities in the districts bordering Arunachal Pradesh to remain alert. The district administration, district disaster management authorities and all other departments concerned have been asked to remain on alert. 6 NDRF teams from Kolkata are scheduled to arrive and will move to the districts as and when required. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj also spoke to the Chief Minister on Friday night and urged him to take all possible measures in the wake of the situation. And on to news from the national capital, where a haze has engulfed as the air quality again nosedived to very poor categories. Several areas recorded severe pollution levels. The overall air quality index of Delhi was recorded at 337, which falls in the very poor category and is the highest of this season. About 31 areas in Delhi recorded very poor air quality, while 2 areas showed severe air quality levels. The deterioration of the air quality comes a day after firecrackers were burst on the occasion of Dussehra, even after repeated appeals by the authorities to go for eco-friendly celebrations. The Supreme Court appointed Environment Protection Control Authority had on Friday held a meeting with the state governments and the Delhi government officials to discuss the pollution situation in the national capital. And a Delhi court has framed molestation charges against former Terry chief R.K. Pachauri in a case of alleged sexual harassment lodged by his former colleague. The charges were framed against Pachauri under sections of Indian Penal Code. Pachauri has been charged with assault or criminal force to women with an intent to outrage her modesty using a word, gesture or act intended to insult the modesty of a woman. The charges were framed after Pachauri, who was present in the courtroom, pleaded not guilty and claimed trial. Counsel appearing for Pachauri requested the court for a speedy trial, and the court set the matter for further proceedings on 4th of January next year. On 13th of February 2015, an FIR was registered against Pachauri and he was granted anticipatory bail in the case on 21st of March 2015. On some other news, Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Friday held a series of bilateral meetings with her counterparts from ASEAN nations and US Defence Secretary James Mattis on the sidelines of ASEAN Defence Ministers meet in Singapore. Defence ministers from ASEAN countries and that of Australia, China, Japan, Russia and the US have gathered for the 12th ASEAN Defence Ministers meeting and the 5th ADMM+, which is being hosted by Singapore. Sitharaman also met her Malaysian counterpart Mohammed bin Sabu, Australian Defence Minister Christopher Pyne, among others, during her day-long meetings. She will also hold a bilateral meeting with her Singapore counterpart, and according to sources, India and Singapore will extend their already comprehensive bilateral defence collaboration. Sitharaman reached Singapore yesterday and she will return home on Sunday. All the international news now. Voting is underway in Afghanistan for the long-delayed parliamentary elections amid heavy security and threats from the Taliban. More than 2,500 candidates, including many women, are vying for seats to the lower house. Nearly 9 million voters are entitled to cast their ballots, but more than 30% of the polling stations are shut because of security concerns. 10 candidates have been killed in the lead up to vote. The Taliban and Islamic State have urged people to boycott what they call our fake elections. Meanwhile, voting in Kandahar province has been delayed by a week after the assassination of a top police chief. General Abdul Razik was shot dead by a rogue bodyguard on Thursday. The Taliban claimed the attack, which came after a high-level security meeting. US Commander General Scott Miller narrowly escaped unhurt. These parliamentary elections take place for the third time since the fall of the Taliban in 2001. The polls, which were originally scheduled for early 2015, are taking place now. And on to the big international news. Saudi Arabia has confirmed the death of missing Saudi journalist and Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, claiming that he died in a fist fight at the country's consulate in Istanbul. A statement from Saudi Arabia's public prosecutor said that a fight broke out between Khashoggi and people who met him in the consulate, ending with his death. The state TV also said that two high-ranking officials have been removed from their posts, including the deputy head of the Saudi intelligence service. The Saudis have also set up a commission led by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman that will restructure the Saudi General Intelligence Directorate and will have 1 month to release a report. The journalist was last seen entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on 2nd of October to pick up some paperwork for his marriage. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said that what happened was unacceptable, but Saudi Arabia was a great ally. He said that the arrests were an important first step, and he praised the kingdom for acting quickly. Sports news now. India will face arch rivals Pakistan in their second match of the Asian Hockey Champions Trophy in Muscat today. In their first round-robin match, the men in blue defeated host Oman 11-0. Teenager Dilpreet Singh's hat-trick helped the Indian side seal the victory. Captain Manpreet Singh and his team will look to carry forward that momentum in the clash against Pakistan today. News from the world of badminton. Indian shuttlers Saina Nehwal and Kidambi Srikanth have entered the semi-finals of the ongoing Denmark Open tournament. In the women's singles, Saina Nehwal defeated her Japanese rival Nozomi Okuhara 17-21, 21-16, 21-12 in a 58-minute long match. She will next face Gregoria Mariska of Indonesia today. While in the men's singles, Kidambi Srikanth defeated compatriot Samir Verma to book his place in the semi-finals. Srikanth beat Verma 22-20, 19-21, 23-21. He will next face world number 1 Kento Momota of Japan today. And in the women's doubles, Ashwini Punappa and Ensinki Reddy crashed out of the tournament after losing their semi-final clash 14-21, 12-21 to Japanese pair of Yuki Fukushima and Sayata Hirota. And World Wrestling Championship will kickstart in Budapest today. Asian Games gold medalist Bajrang Punia will lead the India's 30-member contingent at the competition. Already a bronze winner at the 2013 World Championship, Bajrang has come a long way in the last 5 years, and he will be one of the favourites to win a medal. Another strong medal contender in the women's 50-kilogram category was Vinesh Phogat, but an elbow injury ruled her out of the tournament, while Ritu Phogat will now present India's challenge. Another wrestler to look into the competition is Olympic bronze medalist Sakshi Malik. She will be looking to win a medal after failing to win any medal at the Commonwealth Games and at the Asian Games. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching. Up ahead is Khabar Dopeher.